Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports With. Sports With. Sports With. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Sports With. As always, we have plenty to talk about today. Today's topic, the NBA. To get a little further into things, we're talking about the All-Star selection, the reserves that were chosen by the NBA coaches. Before we dip into that, let's talk about something else going on in the NBA. Blake Griffin has been traded to the Detroit Pistons in exchange for a first and second round pick. Avery Bradley, the star shooting guard, and Tobias Harris, a very well-rounded power forward. So just think about it. Blake Griffin's going to join Andre Drummond, and we'll talk about Andre Drummond. Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, those two picks are going to join DeAndre Jordan. Now, let's jump into this here All-Star selection. For the East, the starters were LeBron, Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, DeMar DeRozan, and Kyrie Irving. Now, LeBron, Giannis, and Joel, first, second, and third in ESPN Eastern Conference rankings. We're going to pay attention to those rankings. That's why I brought them up. Now, for the reserves, we have Bradley Beal, Al Horford, Kyle Lowry, which some may not agree with, but how many point guards are there in the East that you can choose from? Besides John Wall, who's also an All-Star selection, Kyrie Irving, who's also an All-Star selection. Then you also got Porzingis and Kevin Love. Now, one name I mentioned was Al Horford. Al Horford, averaging 13, 7, and 5. I think Shaq said it best. Shaq can currently go out on the court during an NBA game and average 13, 7, and 5. There's no doubt in my mind. He's that dominant. But you know who Al Horford was chosen over? Andre Drummond, the guy that just got Blake Griffin, by the way, who's averaging 14 and 15. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very disturbing. Andre Drummond and the Detroit Pistons are currently ranked 9th in the East. He's the number one option on that team. There's no Reggie Jackson. It's the backup point guard that's in the game. He's the number one option on the team. Al Horford, some may consider him number 2. I consider him number 3. Shoot, sometimes maybe number 4. Behind guys like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Two very young players who have the skills and the potential to be great veterans down the line. Of course, the number one option is Kyrie Irving. Now, for the West, starters, Stephen Curry, James Harden, DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis, and Kevin Durant. Very skilled players. Some of the best. All those guys are top 10 right now. But here's the reserves for the team that the NBA coaches decided to choose for the West. You have LaMarcus Aldridge. You have Russell Westbrook. You have Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, Karl Anthony Towns, and Damian Lillard. Here's my first issue. I know we don't have too much control over this, but Russell Westbrook is having a better season than Stephen Curry. Yes, I said it. Russell Westbrook's season is better than Stephen Curry. Some may ask why. Because the numbers say that Stephen Curry is averaging 27 points a game on 48% shooting, averaging 5 and 6. He's number 6 in ESPN Western Conference rankings. Then you have Russell Westbrook, averaging 25 points per game, 43% shooting, 9 and 10. He's ranked number 3 on ESPN Western Conference rankings. Here's the difference here. Besides those stats, besides Russell Westbrook almost averaging a triple-double as he ended the season last year, Stephen Curry has played 33 games this season. 33 games. You want to know how many games Russell Westbrook has played? Over 40. Over 45. He's played the whole season thus far. We're approaching the All-Star break. Russell Westbrook has not missed a game. Stephen Curry has missed plenty. He's played 33 games. Who in the heck voted him as team captain for the West? I know I sure didn't. Now we jump to the reserves. This is what we can't argue about because the coaches chose these players. LaMarcus Aldridge, Jimmy Butler, Damian Lillard, Karl Anthony Towns. All those guys are deserving of their spot as a reserve in the West. Who's not deserving? I'll start with Klay Thompson, who should be replaced by Devin Booker. That's right, I said it. I don't care if they are one of the worst teams in the NBA. I don't care if they have the worst defense in the NBA. Devin Booker deserves a spot as a Western Conference All-Star. Devin Booker's averaging 25 points per game on 43% shooting, 4-4. He's ranked number 13 on ESPN's Western Conference rankings. Klay Thompson, 20 points per game, 45% shooter from the three, he's a three-point shooter, 48% from the field, and he's ranked 24 in the Western Conference rankings. Nah, I don't care how popular your team is. I don't care how unpopular your team is. It shouldn't matter when it comes to who gets to get that spot on the team. That spot in the Western Conference for the shooting guard position belongs to Devin Booker. Now, Draymond Green, another reserve for the West. This can be debatable. He's averaging 11, 7, and 7. He's ranked 20th on the Western Conference ESPN rankings. Who else could fill that spot? I tell you, PG. 21 points per game, 43% shooting, 5-3. Ranked number 16 on ESPN's Western Conference rankings. He's the second option on that team for OKC, ahead of Carmelo, the veteran, right behind Russell Westbrook. They wouldn't have the wins they have if it wasn't for PG. He's top 5 in steals in the league, averaging in total. But let me catch you up on something. Another headliner. PG is now a Western Conference reserve. He's on Team LeBron, replacing none other than DeMarcus Cousins, who unfortunately suffered an Achilles injury against the Houston Rockets a few nights ago. He's out 6 to 10 months. This goes on to a whole other topic. Who would the Cleveland Cavaliers pick up now? DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis, that was the pieces right there. Besides guys like DeAndre Jordan, who I mentioned earlier. Besides guys like George Hill or the Kemba Walkers, like I mentioned. Ladies and gentlemen, think about it. Devin Booker, PG. They were well deserving to be initial starters for the Western Conference. Who else could have been in that spot for Klay Thompson? Oh, I tell you who. Lou Williams. Averaging 23 points per game on 45% shooting, 2-5. He's ranked number 15 on the ESPN Western Conference rankings. Now, some may say CP3 or Blake Griffin. I'll tell you why they don't belong regardless of the numbers. CP3, 19-5-5. I'm sorry, 19-5-8. Ranked number 8 on the ESPN Western Conference rankings. He only played 28 games. Blake Griffin, 22-7-5. He's only played 30 games. You got to play the game to deserve that spot, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't work that way. No matter how popular your team is, no matter how unpopular your team is, Devin Booker deserves that spot. Lou Williams can have that spot that belongs to Klay Thompson right now. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Sports With.